our pastor appreciation gifts. And I have one bag. This one is the one I'm going to work on today. It says Saved by Grace. And I did have some little smearing with the ink, so I put some little flowers on there. So I'm actually thinking about doing the other side with the same color as the flowers, just to make it go with it. And then this is what I did on the other one, and I think I'm just going to leave it as is. It says Salt and Light, and then it's got Matthew 5:13 through 60 on it, be the good. And so I'm just going to heat press that, heat set that, and that will be ready to go tomorrow for our pastor appreciation. And then stay tuned. I'm going to ink a hat as well for the pastor. So we have kind of 3 pastors. I'm sorry, I didn't bring it over. So I have it sitting right on top. But this is an older transfer that I got in past years. See what it's called. I think it's called, it's called Prayer Warrior, and it was from 2024. So I did get it. Actually, the Saved by Grace, that was the first time. This bag was being kind of tricky when I was doing the inking, so you'll have to bear with me. It's kind of technically the back side, and these were brand new bags that I actually found at our thrift store locally, and I think maybe for like $3, so it was a really good deal. There was a whole bunch of them, like somebody had given them up, like had donated them for some reason. And this is just a little bit over the size to go in here. So I think there's something in these bags that is causing them not to stick very well, the transfers. So you have to know that we're sort of going to be going a little bit on the slow side to do this today, so that we get it right. Gonna get an ink mat, although I think the last one, so these actually have the chevron on one side. That's how it came. That's lined with the chevron. Isn't that really cool? And then there's a pocket on the inside. And it did go through a little bit actually. So I'm just gonna go ahead, and it did actually get a little bit. See, it went a little bit through. So I'm just going to put it in there for stability than any other reason. But I think I'm going to put Prayer Warrior on this one. And maybe do that, because I did that Color of the Month ink this month on there. And I'm going to pull that pocket out, because I did notice that it went on that pocket a little bit. That may make it a little bit less lumpy as well. So I'm going to get it down here, put it on. I think, no, we're not straight at all. So we'll try that again. So it's going to go a little bit up onto the straps on the side. So we're going to be very careful when we ink this. Our ink is non-toxic. It's really fun to work with. I love to make t-shirts, and I love to make these bags. I've done quite a few hats as well. Hats are a little bit trickier, so stay tuned. Ooh, I guess I got gray out here. Here I was grabbing gray. And I'm going to use a little bit of blue tape on this as well, because this is kind of close. Whenever you have, especially when you're using permanent ink, I think it's a good idea to just go ahead and tape it off if you're going to get kind of close to the edge. Just sort of kind of keep like an ongoing stash of blue tape sitting around here. I kind of stick it to the desk around me, and so that I can reuse it, because oftentimes, it just dries or whatever. It's just fine. Whoops, I went over the Y. It's not very helpful, is it? So that I can reuse it again, because I'm like, one time it's not really getting all that dirty. So I just want to get this upper part here really good in tape so we don't go over. Also, because this isn't sticking very well on here, I think it's going to help it to stick a little bit better too. So sometimes, like canvas, the hats, I've noticed too, sometimes they're a little difficult to do the ink or paste on them, because they've got like a water repellent in them, and the water repellent is sort of difficult to deal with. So anyway, I'm going to start with this today. Thankfully, with the ink, it doesn't, you don't have to rush to do the ink. You don't have, when you do chalk, which is not permanent, you do have to kind of work quickly, because you don't want it to dry up. Oops. You don't want it to dry up in the in the transfer, because when you peel it then to reveal it, it will, when you peel it to reveal it, it will come out. So I'm just going to start over here since we've got that down. And so I'm going to try really hard not to go back and forth on it or wipe too many times. But however, we do want to fill every part of it. So that's what I'm going to work very hard. So on the other side, the reason I put the flowers on there in that color of the month ink was because it did not, I smeared it under a little bit. And so the G, oops, I just went over the star. The G also, it like smeared underneath it. So to cover up the little smear, I went ahead and put a little flower over the top of it. And that Jolene is Color of the Month ink. I don't know if it's still available or not. I'm going to just go ahead and get the prayer part of this too while I'm at it. But I think I'm going to come back with that Jolene and go, oops, it was a little bumpy there. I'm trying to push it down really good. And then once it's filled, we're not going to keep wiping. Try to get up the extra though. So, but definitely, and this is a brand new this particular one I have not used before. So it is not sticking very well to this bag. So I'm going to attribute it to the bag. Usually it's not a problem. If you use the bags that we carry, you're not going to have this problem like I am. A little bit of the O not done. A little too much there. Pick up the extra. Put any extra back into the jar because this is the jar. You could also get ink singles, which are super handy because you can do just, you know, try out different colors and things and not have so much on hand. Hello. Thank you for joining in on my live today. We are making a bag for pastor appreciation. We are celebrating our pastors tomorrow. We have husband and wife who are the main pastors, and then we have a music minister that is also our pastor. She is the daughter. All right, so I'm going to try to stick this down really good and go gently with it. And kind of come from the outside. I don't want it to not look like a star. Maybe I should be praying while doing this. Please, Lord, don't smear. Please, Lord. Begging. I beg of you. So this is Jolene. It was the Color of the Month ink. So we usually have a Color of the Month, either paste or ink. You can get it with a purchase, and my information is down below if you'd like to go on my chalk site and purchase craft supplies. That helps me out, obviously. Helps pay the bills around here. So I appreciate that. Anything that you can do. Let's take a look here. Hopefully we did not smear anything. Not too bad. That one star, it does, that one leg, which leg? It's a little bit light in that one spot. I'm wondering if I can sort of grab some here and put it on there. Sometimes it doesn't stay the same. I did it. And that Jolene has a little sparkle in it. Yay, I'm very pleased with how this looks. I'm excited. Okay, and I can take all that blue tape off my transfer gently so we don't tear the transfer. Oops, that is kind of tearing. And I'll stick that back up on my pile of tape to reuse again. Always reuse, right? And then I'm just going to stick this back onto the transfer backing. And as soon as we're done here, I'll take this into the house and wash this in the sink. Regular water, no chemicals. I'll use a little board eraser to get everything out of the screen part of it because this is a silk screen transfer. And that is going to be reusable up to 15 times. So I'm pretty excited. Isn't that cute? So cute. And then, like I said, the other side, let's get this out of here. I'm going to try not to touch it. We don't want to smear it. Get that ink mat back into the packaging because we don't want it to dry out. It's a reusable ink mat as well. And we're going to, I'll show you that other side. So it says Saved by Grace, Ephesians 2:8, and I have a couple little of those Jolene flowers on there to cover up some little boo-boos. So, you know, it's crafting, it's handmade, and nothing is, you know, everything is fixable. So I don't always, you know, not everything turns out perfectly. Let's just say that. And it's okay. It's okay when it doesn't. All right, so I'm going to set that aside and let that dry out. And then the other thing I'm going to make is for our pastor, I am going to make a trucker hat. And this is my last trucker hat. And you know that little paper insert you have that you get inside of it? Whoops, guess we probably don't need it. This is my last one. I got a bunch of trucker hats, like really inexpensively, a couple of years ago when I was ordering from a wood company. And this is my last one. And so I was asking my, excuse me, husband, what should I do for pastor? And he loves to go fishing, so I'm going to try to find my fishing one and do keeping it real. Keep it real. On here with some ink. Oops. So we got done with these inks. Black, and get all these put away and get them lids on. But I sure appreciate you all for being here. Make sure that you give me a little thumbs up if you can. That helps my business. And also, be sure that you subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell button so that you know when I go live, and, you know, you can help out more, because it's always helpful to my channel to, you know, give me the thumbs up and whatnot. I keep my ink separate here on the floor. I have a little train case that I put it in. And so I'm trying to decide. I think the last time I did this, I actually put the little fisherman I might do this one. I might just do the little hook because I'm a little worried. This one seems a little bit more round. I'm a little worried about it. I'm going to be super honest. So it's a little tricky to do hats. That is the one thing I do want to tell you, is it is super tricky to do hats. And so you have to sort of work around with it a little bit, because one, they seem to have, again, something in it that makes them more water repellent or something. I don't know. And so the transfer doesn't stick as well. So what we're going to do is go work really slowly. And I'm using this. This is the Keep It Real. This is another older transfer. But, you know, if you want to be on the end, if you're looking for these kinds of transfers, actually right now there's some good sales. So go check it out. Some of the older transfers are back. So I'm going to do, it says be back soon. And I'm just going to be very careful. I'm sort of using my tool like a brush. And then I want the hook on here. So we're going to do the hook, although the middle of the hook is right up the center. So I'm going to be very cautious. And I'm going to do the established in 1891. And then we're going to do the Keep It Real part, but not the circle, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to keep working slowly and filling in the areas that I want and being careful not to fill in the areas I don't want. And hopefully it turns out, my last one turned out really good with this, but it is sort of like one of those things where a little bit feel like holding my breath while I do it because it feels like it's not sticking right. When you're going on a round surface, and this goes for glass too, you can actually use our glass on fabrics and on glass. And as long as you heat set it, it will be permanent. So you could even dishwash it, I guess. I don't tend to dishwash my glassware that I do. I just do it by hand, but I do that with all my stuff because, you know, glassware kind of wears off after time. Dishwashers are rough on dishes. Kind of, let's take a look. That looks good. I'm just trying not to move it off here. I'm going to do the keep it real. Keep. I'm on the keep. Oops. And if you go over, like, I would say, like, if we miss and hit, you know, like go under, oops. If you do a little extra or something, you can usually kind of get it off by wiping it off, but, you know, it's not perfect. But it's okay. It's crafting. We're working hard to just make it look nice. I guess I have a backup hat. If this one doesn't work out, like I said, I think I paid $2 or $3 for this hat. So this is not the end of the world if I wreck it, but I'm hoping not. Keep it real. Looks good. Yay. I actually love it. What do you think? This is a piece of fuzz here. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. Be back soon, it says. Keep it real. The keep is a little, like, moved a little bit, but I think it's good. And so what I'll do is I'll heat set this with an iron. I have one of those little heat presses, and I'll just kind of put it at like 350 for about 30 seconds on one side, and then on the other side with a piece of parchment paper. Same with the bags. I will heat press it. You can use either an iron or you can use a heat press, whichever one you have on hand. Easy peasy, and then you will be good to go. It will be permanent. And really, I'll let this dry at least overnight before I do that, so it's not, you know, doesn't smear or anything. And again, this is washable. It's a reusable transfer, and this is probably the, I would say 6th time I've used it, but isn't that cute? I kind of love it. Keep it real. It looks a little crooked, though. I'm not going to lie. It does look a little crooked, like the keep is too far down. So, I don't know. We'll see. See what my husband says, because I think my other hat looks a lot better. I could run some embroidery through it. And so if you ever try to wipe some off, which I'm just doing a little bit around this 1891, it seems like it's a little high here, kind of smeary. Could run some, I don't know. I kind of like it, except for the little bit of crookedness. But hey, you know, none of us are perfect. Keep it real, right? All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are having a very blessed weekend. Make sure that you do all the things here. Help me out in my channel. I appreciate you all for being here. It's my crafting channel, and I just, you know, working hard and getting a little bit of craft therapy in. So if you learn a little and enjoy it, and, you know, do all the things. I appreciate you all, and make sure you keep on crafting.